The once mighty Carolingian Empire, stretching across much of Europe, crumbled. Invasions, Vikings from the north, Magyars from the east, chaos reigned. People needed protection. They turned to local, powerful figures, lords. These lords, often former Carolingian nobles, had land, castles and warriors. They offered protection to those who swore loyalty to them. This exchange, protection for loyalty, formed the bedrock of feudalism. Thus began a new era in France, one dominated by lords and their vassals. The king's power waned, replaced by a patchwork of feudal domains. Life in this new world, though seemingly chaotic, was rigidly structured, a pyramid with lords at the top and peasants at the base. Lords, the apex of feudal society, held immense power. They controlled vast estates called manors. These weren't just lands, they were economic and social units. Peasants worked the land, providing food and labor. In their grand castles, lords held court, dispensing justice and settling disputes. They were judges, juries, and sometimes executioners. Their word was law within their domain. But lordship wasn't just about power, it was about responsibility. Lords were expected to protect their vassals, provide justice, and maintain order. They were answerable to their own lords, creating a chain of obligation that stretched to the king, however weak he might be. Life for the peasantry was harsh, a relentless cycle of labor. They toiled on the lord's land, their lives dictated by the seasons. They ploughed, sowed, and harvested, their reward a meager share of the produce. Bound to the land, peasants couldn't leave without the lord's permission. They paid taxes to the lord in grain, labor, or coin. Their lives were ones of constant work, their fate intertwined with the whims of nature and the demands of their lord. Despite the hardships, peasants found solace in their communities. They celebrated festivals, shared stories, and supported each other through difficult times. Their faith, too, offered comfort, a promise of a better life in the hereafter. Peace was a rare commodity in feudal France. Lords, ambitious and eager to expand their power, frequently clashed. Castles, mighty fortresses, became symbols of dominance and tools of war. Feudal warfare was a brutal affair. Knights clad in armor charged into battle, their swords and lances thirsty for blood. Archers rained arrows, while foot soldiers clashed in a chaotic melee. These conflicts weren't just about land or power, they were about honor and prestige. A knight's reputation was paramount, and deeds of valor on the battlefield could elevate a lord's standing. Yet for the common folk, war brought only suffering, their lives and livelihoods caught in the crossfire. Section 5. The Black Death, Harbinger of Change. In the mid-14th century, a new terror gripped Europe, the Black Death. This devastating plague, spread by fleas on rats, swept across the continent, leaving a trail of death and despair in its wake. The Black Death didn't discriminate. Rich and poor alike succumbed to its gruesome grip. Villages were decimated, their populations shattered. The social order, already strained, began to unravel. The massive loss of life had a profound impact on feudalism. With fewer peasants to work the land, labor became scarce and valuable. Lords, desperate to maintain their workforce, were forced to offer better terms, eroding the rigid social hierarchy. Section 6. Fury of the oppressed, peasant revolts. Throughout history, the voices of the downtrodden have often been silenced, but there are moments when their fury cannot be contained. The Black Death had sown the seeds of discontent. This devastating plague wiped out a significant portion of the population, leading to a severe labor shortage. The surviving peasants found themselves in a unique position of power, yet their lives remained harsh and unforgiving. Peasants, emboldened by their newfound leverage and angered by their lot, began to resist the demands of their lords. They gathered in secret, discussing their grievances and planning their actions. The oppressive taxes and relentless demands for labor became unbearable. Revolts, fueled by desperation and a yearning for a better life, erupted across France. These uprisings were not just spontaneous acts of violence, but organized efforts to challenge the existing order. villages banded together, attacking manor houses and seizing control. The Jacquerie, a peasant uprising in 1358, shook the foundations of feudal society. This revolt was a direct response to the unbearable conditions imposed by the nobility. The peasants' anger was palpable, and their actions were a testament to their desire for change. Driven by poverty, oppression, and the ravages of war, peasants rose up against their lords, burning castles and killing nobles. The destruction was widespread and the message was clear. The peasants would no longer accept their subjugation without a fight. Though brutally suppressed, the Jacquerie and other revolts were harbingers of change. The nobility responded with overwhelming force, crushing the uprisings and punishing those involved. However, the spirit of resistance could not be entirely extinguished. They revealed the growing resentment towards the feudal system and the willingness of the oppressed to fight for a fairer society. These revolts were early indicators of the profound social changes that would eventually reshape medieval Europe, laying the groundwork for future generations to continue the struggle for justice and equality. Section 7, the setting sun of feudalism, new ideas and changing times. As the medieval era drew to a close, the world was on the brink of profound transformation. The Black Death and peasant revolts weakened feudalism, but its demise was a gradual process, hastened by other factors. The plague decimated populations, leading to labor shortages and shifting economic power. New ideas, like the Renaissance and humanism, challenged the old order. Scholars began to question long-held beliefs, advocating for a return to classical knowledge and emphasizing the potential of human achievement. The rise of cities, centers of trade and commerce, offered new opportunities. These urban hubs became melting pots of culture and innovation, where merchants and artisans thrived. People flocked to urban areas, seeking their fortune outside the confines of the feudal system. The promise of a better life drew many from rural villages to the bustling cities. The growth of a merchant class further eroded the power of the landed aristocracy. These merchants formed powerful guilds, which regulated trade and protected their interests. Kings, too, sought to reassert their authority. They implemented new laws and administrative reforms to strengthen their control over their realms. They built strong armies, centralized power, and chipped away at the autonomy of their feudal lords. The construction of formidable fortresses symbolized their growing dominance. The feudal world, once seemingly immutable, was slowly but surely giving way to a new era. The remnants of castles and fortresses now stand as silent witnesses to a time of great change, as society moved towards modernity. Section 8. Echoes of the past, the legacy of feudalism. While feudalism as a political and social system faded, its legacy endured. The intricate web of relationships between lords and vassals, the hierarchical structure, and the emphasis on land as a source of power left an indelible mark on European history. The concept of land ownership as a source of power and prestige continued to shape European societies. Land was not just a resource, it was a symbol of status and influence, a tangible representation of one's place in the social hierarchy. Many castles, once symbols of feudal might, still stand today, albeit as romantic ruins or tourist attractions. These ancient fortresses, with their towering walls and imposing structures, draw visitors from around the world eager to glimpse the remnants of a bygone era. They serve as reminders of a bygone era, their weathered stones whispering tales of chivalry, warfare, and the lives of those who lived and died within their walls. The echoes of battles fought and alliances forged can still be felt in the air, a testament to the enduring legacy of feudalism. Even language bears the imprint of feudalism. The terms and titles that were once commonplace in medieval society have found their way into modern vocabulary, carrying with them the weight of history. Words like lord, vassal, and fealty evoke images of a time when oaths of loyalty and obligations bound people together in a complex web of relationships. These words, steeped in history, remind us of the intricate social fabric that defined the medieval world. where every individual had a role to play and a duty to fulfill. The influence of feudalism can even be seen in modern legal and property systems. Concepts of land tenure, inheritance, and titles have roots that trace back to feudal times, demonstrating how deeply this system has shaped our world. As we walk through modern cities, the juxtaposition of ancient castles and contemporary buildings serves as a visual reminder of the enduring legacy of feudalism. It is a testament to how the past continues to influence the present, weaving a rich tapestry of history that shapes our understanding of the world. Section 9. Conclusion. The enduring influence of a bygone era. Feudalism, born from chaos and the need for protection, shaped France for centuries. It was a system built on hierarchy, obligation, and the often brutal realities of life in the Middle Ages. Though long gone, feudalism's influence can still be felt. It shaped the landscape, influenced social structures, and left an indelible mark on European history and culture. Understanding feudalism is key to understanding the evolution of Western civilization, a reminder that even the most entrenched systems can crumble and give way to new eras.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more intriguing stories like this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share this video with friends who would love these fascinating historical events, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your support means a lot. Stay tuned for more amazing content.